I've been opposition spokesperson for culture for the Labour for the last 4 years, and many years ago I worked for 3 opposition arts and culture ministers in the House of Commons some time ago, so I'm no expert, but I have a little bit of continuity and background. I'm going to read this, so I hope that's okay. Labour obviously has been wholeheartedly committed to arts and culture for everyone. We've always believed in its importance, almost 100 years, that the arts are not an add-on to people's lives or an indulgence for the better off. Everyone should have the opportunity to enjoy the arts as participators or audiences, or both. And both the last Labour government and the last administration in the city have known that our creative residents are the core of our vital and dynamic Brighton and Hove city. They are at the heart of the city's heritage and its future, and vital in an economic sense too, not only because their being here attracts tourism and spenders, but because they are what as we call them, the creative industries, a growing sector that creates jobs, and I think that's crucial too. There is no doubt that nationally and to some extent internationally, the city has a growing reputation as an exciting and fun city, and we need to keep on this upward trajectory, supporting our artists and creative people in every way we can, using partnership working networks with our old partners like the Arts Council and with our new ones. It would be good if we could export more of our productions. At the moment we are import more than we export, and if, as an administration, we would wholeheartedly support these aspirations. I think we all believe that driving for higher standards does benefit everyone. And the festival is obviously an example of constantly building on that European and international reputation. The festival in the Dome is our flagship, it is our shop window to the world, and it has a special mention here, obviously. And the Labour Party is committed always to free access for museums and galleries. I do think it's very important to state that, and that will never change. But we also support organisations who can obtain and ensure for themselves a steady state, i.e. they're able to establish good financial income streams and revenues to secure their futures, so they can plan great works, not just firefight and survive. So that I think is very important. And just as an example, the commercialisation programme at the Dome is ingenious and far-sighted. It's already reaped benefits. I think the collaborations with professional artists and residents with young people is a terrific approach. And the whole of the Learning Access and Participation Scheme here is an excellent programme that sets the educational bar very high for other arts organisations, and something really support. I mean, in general, obviously, access, learning and participation are key to Labour's manifesto. We believe they should be accessed by everyone, free wherever possible. Libraries are obviously crucial, and we're also always committed to equalities policies and access for disability groups. I mean, partnerships are key to this, and as David was saying, there is always more joining up to do, and that we're absolutely committed to. Labour's national manifesto has always said that children should have 5 hours a week of cultural activities, although some of those are physical, such as dance, as talked about earlier, and there is no reason why the arts can't tap more into this sort of health agenda. I think there is genuinely a real need to pull together what we have in this city. That's from youth centres and schools activities and performing arts opportunities for children. Rachel mentioned the special panel we had, and there was a very clear message that came through on the children's cultural opportunities, and as it does all across the city, that there is a huge amount going on, but it's always quite difficult to get a handle on it all, and that this coordinating and this single information sources for all the activities on offer would really help and make a huge difference for users and for the unsung heroes, as I call them, the arts workers. And I do believe there must be more and better ways to do this. There's a plethora of projects, performances, groups, classes, all of which could, perhaps cross-fertilise more, perhaps they duplicate, and there may be ways to use these resources better and raise standards. And I think that's, in a way, something that David has sort of been talking about. We do still have real problems with hard-to-reach children, and we really need to keep going on with that. We need to draw in more schools and not leave it to the usual suspects, some who already have high profiles. And we will always be determined to ensure that children have free access. When it comes to music, we cannot support a situation where only rich parents can pay for children to learn an instrument. The music service must be for all children. And just as an aside, we'd also really like to spend more time looking at supporting after-school clubs. I think there's a real potential there for drawing in the arts and joining up things with schools and children. I've got a quick word here about well, it's not a quick word, it's an important word about the council, because I have mentioned earlier about the need for focused, organised central points for arts information, and for its dissemination. And I think that's a constant refrain from people when they come to this city. The success of the Creative Industries Network, the Children's Festival, show what Paula Murray's team of dedicated professionals can really achieve when they pull everything together. It seems to me this is a very productive use of Council's resources, capitalising on its central position and its knowledge sources. And I think the more we can do of this virtual and sort of physical coordinating of information, the more it would improve access for everybody, and it is something that's needed, perhaps. There is, as the example of the online ticketing resource that was run by Visit Brighton, which the Arts Commission instigated, and again shows how this pulling together and how something like the Arts Commission and the Council can initiate and push forward these successful things. The White Knight's obviously been mentioned. That's again shows, and the cultural diary, what a lot of hard work can achieve. I wanted very briefly to mention the new developments. I think David's talked about them, and we would all like to see those progress much faster, obviously. A new home for South East Dance at Circus Street, the I-360, Preston Barracks. In harsher economic times, it's appreciated capital investment is squeezed, but we all know the city needs to keep making itself attractive to visitors and residents and keep up its reputation of being an exciting and growing city. We have one idea here that I think has got some support, which is I'd really like to see a residence card in the city. I think the technology is here. Many other cities already offer a card. For example, the Pavilion does offer residents half price, but it's not taken up very much. I don't think that many people are aware of it, and I think in the longer run the use of this smart technology could bring many benefits to all types of venues who want to appeal directly to residents, and also perhaps it could be linked as a tourist card with transport opportunities, and that would help local venues to market themselves to visitors. So I do feel we should be moving into an era where cards can be used, this smart technology. And obviously the local creative industries is a theme that is very key to our future, and personally and the party I'm from are absolutely committed to. Digital and media enterprises are doing very, very well. There are real opportunities to create jobs here, and employers come to this city because they know talented people live here, and we should never forget that. We must make the most of this. We need to work with universities, develop our specialist hubs, look at growing enterprises' need for workspaces, support, for instance, Wild Sussex initiatives to attract investment, look at what the digital gaming industry needs, and back the New England House development too. It's important that we have these kind of national aspirations and international ones, and these digital industries could be exporting even more globally than they are already. And just on one final note, what I do passionately believe we could try and make more effort to do is to support our aspiring young professionals, helping them to make up the step from gifted amateur to professional for all the media, the performing arts, music and events. I think there's a host of very talented young people out there, and they just need that pushing upwards. I don't know quite exactly how we do that, but I'm sure this smart city would think of a way of doing that. And I think being smart is about what we need to be doing in the future. Thank you.